What is up, guys? Rick Cacus here, and today we are going to be showcasing my preferred Iron Banner loadout, talking about what I use and why I use it, to give you guys an idea of some of the things you may want to try out if you want to pick up some more of those wins in the Iron Banner. Now, a little bit of a disclosure here, I'm not saying that this loadout is the be-all and end-all solution for every single scenario. And if you're really doing well with other weapons, by all means, keep doing what you're doing. But if you are having a little bit of trouble and getting a lot of losses, hopefully this loadout will help you increase your chance of success. So, let's get started. Firstly, with the Kinetic Weapon. There's a lot of good choices here. There's the origin story, there's the Mida multi-tool, but what I'm going with here is a submachine gun, the Antiope-D. Now, why the heck am I using this weapon? Why am I not using the Mida multi-tool? I've got some explaining to do. Well, firstly, the Antiope-D is just incredibly powerful. It's a 600 rounds per minute submachine gun. I've already done a full video on it calling it the best submachine gun in the game. It is. Like, you'll get one of these and you'll realize, oh, he's right. This thing is capable of doing 20 damage for a headshot, like I said, 600 rounds per minute, and compare that to the auto rifles in this category, which also do 600 rounds per minute, and they do 17 damage for a headshot. So you are killing faster than most other guns out there, much faster. The Antiope-D also has kill clip, and if you activate it, you're doing 26 damage for a headshot. You are killing way faster than even something like the Uriel's Gift, the origin story. You are just killing like D1, year one fast. That's how fast you're taking targets out. Now, usually with SMGs, you have the problem of range, but the Antiope-D has such incredible range, you're able to kill people confidently at medium range every single time. So there you have it. The reason I'm using this weapon is just that it's incredibly powerful. It's capable of killing enemies faster than most other kinetic weapons. You may notice actually that I'm using the first sight option. The second one actually increases the range. I'm actually really liking the first just because it's a little bit less zoomed in than the second option, and the range it increases this weapon by is a range that is far enough that you're not going to be able to go fully automatic anyways. So I'm much preferring the first sight. It is a lot more adapted to that close range fighting style that you do want to get in with this weapon. I would recommend, if you are running a second sight, try out the first one. Yes, you get a bump down in range, but I think you'll like the overall feel of the gun much more. That's what happened to me. With that being said, there is some downsides to the Antiope-D. Its range does end. Like, for an SMG, it's phenomenal. You're going to destroy auto rifle users from distances they never expect, but it will run out of range at shorter distances than something like the origin story. So that is a problem. You cannot go medium range with this weapon. You just cannot. So you're going to have to adapt your playstyle accordingly. So many people just know the Mida is a good weapon and want to run it, that if you come at them a little bit more aggressively and closer range than they expect, they are not going to be able to handle you and your Antiope. Now, at the beginning I said, I'm going to have a good reason for using this over the Mida. But the good reason is that it's the Iron Banner, it's control. Yes, the Mida is fantastic, arguably better than this weapon in a lot of scenarios. But because it's control, you're eventually going to have to get in there on the zone if you want to win. It's all about putting up that big W at the end of the game. It's not about getting a massive kill-death ratio because you're only going to get 2 tokens. You're going to feel good about yourself until you see those 2 tokens. So, because of the fact that you have to get in close range, you have to fight the enemy right around a flag. You can't stay in the very back of the map with the Mida the entire round. The Iron Banner naturally lends itself to a little bit more of aggressive playstyle because you're going to have to get in there and take the B flag every once in a while. And so if you have an Antiope, you are much more prepared for those type of scenarios than if you have a super long range Mida multi-tool, for example. But I do think it's time to move on to the energy weapon slot. Although all of the reasons I gave for why the Antiope is good and that you have to get close range, etc., still hold true, I'm not going to pretend like a lot of maps don't have a lot of very long sightlines, and so a scout rifle is very important. But again, the Antiope isn't the best at even medium ranges. So what we need is a medium range scout rifle. Well, I got one. The Conspirator Raid Scout Rifle. This is in the same damage archetype as the Mida Multitool, so we already know that's a fantastic damage archetype, can kill people no problem. Yes, it doesn't have high caliber rounds. That is a downside. I'm not going to lie to you guys. The Conspirator is not as good as the Mida. It's just not. If you're versing a whole team with Midas, don't try to out-scout rifle them. You're just not going to be able to. But the Conspirator, at the end of the day, is a fully automatic scout rifle with very good stats. Fully automatic. That means you're getting that mathematical best time to kill when compared to other people. And that means 1v1 with a Mida, you do have a little bit of an advantage. Yes, you are more likely to flinch off target, but if you land all your shots and they land all their shots, you're going to win because you've got that mathematical edge. They're going to have to be pressing the controller, pressing the trigger, and that's going to take just a millisecond longer, but that millisecond should result in your kill. But the real reason I'm using this gun is that it covers in medium range for where the Antiope lacks. This is again a fully automatic scout rifle, so it can hang and compete in those medium ranges much better than other traditional semi-automatic scout rifles. You can just hold the trigger. You see a guy with an auto rifle in that prime auto rifle range, you'll actually often win with the Conspirator. People don't expect it, but you're hitting hard and you're hitting fast with full auto. So these two weapons work together very well. You have a very powerful SMG that extends out to medium ranges, but once it starts falling off at the ranges you want another weapon to function, you have a scout rifle that can come a little bit closer into medium ranges where other scout rifles can't necessarily compete, and then it picks up with the Conspirator and goes out to long range. You really don't have a huge problem with dealing with guys at the very back of the map. Yes, if you have a Mida user just completely camping 1,000 meters away from you, okay, yeah, the Conspirator is not going to be good there. Just back away from that engagement. But seriously, just Antiope everyone close range, switch to Conspirator for down hallways, and that's really how these two guns work together to cover you in the vast majority of engagements you're going to encounter in the Iron Banner. Now quickly, if you haven't been able to do the raid and you're like, this guy's telling me to use a gun, I have no chance of getting, what a jerk. There is actually a couple of alternatives. The Trials Scout is another pretty darn good alternative, the End, and now there's going to be people saying, I haven't done Trials this guy, but the Future War Cult Scout, they have an Energy Scout that does have high cal rounds. That's a very good alternative as well for the energy slot. I really didn't like that gun personally too much. I thought I would like it way more than I did, but its recoil pattern is horrible. The Conspirator is so much easier to control, but it is a legitimate alternative. So those are some of the weapons you can use in its place. There isn't really a huge alternative to the Antiope-D. It's so darn good, it's like off in its own league. I think the only thing that comes close is the Trials SMG. It's also 600 rounds per minute, but it just doesn't hold a candle to the Antiope's range is the only problem. And Kill Clip is so good, like nothing even comes close to how powerful that perk is when you start activating it. And so, moving on from there, we have the last weapon slot with the Power Weapon. And here, I'm just gonna be honest, this is very open. I do not have a certain power weapon that I'm gonna wholeheartedly recommend you guys must use. Mostly because you can go an entire match without ever getting power ammo and still win. It's not absolutely essential to have a massively amazing power weapon. However, I do definitely have some recommendations for you guys. Firstly, and the weapon you're seeing me use right here, is the Gravity Slingshot Dead Orbit Shotgun. I kind of put this thing on randomly when I forgot my main ingredient on a different character I was switching to, and so I just put it on in panic, and wow, it's amazed me how good this gun is. Really, it's just, I'd use it over the main ingredient now. That's how good this thing has been performing. So I didn't expect a shotgun to be as good as it was, but the fact of the matter is, Like I talked about with the Antiope, you are close range, you are holding down B, other people are coming to B, it can get very close quarters, and so a shotgun with that instant kill potential, and especially a shotgun like the Gravity Slingshot, which has massive impact and also pretty decent range, you just one bang people when they do not expect it. And even if you don't get the kill, they are so weak that switching to the Antiope and finishing them off is absolutely no problem at all, or even a backup shot like with the Gravity Slingshot is incredibly easy to do. I have just baited so many people. I've just heard people pop their golden gun, just waited around a corner like, all right, come get me. Boom! One shot. Bye-bye golden gun, or bye-bye. Oh my gosh, I've shut down way too many supers with this thing. But it's seriously a powerful, powerful one-hit shotgun like the Gravity Slingshot. When you have that massive impact and you have a pretty good range, that is actually quite effective in the Iron Banner. But I definitely do have some alternatives. Like I said before, the main ingredient fusion rifle is very, very good. A lot of fusion rifles are excellent. They're at a great place right now. A sniper rifle is good, but only if you know what you're doing. If you know you're a very good sniper, put on a sniper. If you're unsure or you haven't really used a sniper that much recently, don't bother. You're gonna miss. You're gonna embarrass yourself and your team. Help the team out. Use something more consistent like a fusion rifle. I really don't like rocket launchers that much, but they have been impressive on the receiving end of them. Like, I don't like rocket launchers because I've dodged way too many, I've seen way too many people grab them and miss their shot, and there goes all of their power ammo. Like, you have 4 rounds of Gravity Slingshot. If you miss your first shot, if you miss your second shot, you still have the chance to get 2 kills after that. With the rocket launcher, it doesn't work like that. The one alternative, though, is the Wardcliffe coil. That thing's amazing. That's basically a guaranteed kill. But other rocket launchers, grenade launchers basically stick away unless it's a very specific grenade launcher. Like, I think it's the play of the game has proximity grenade. That's actually not bad, but most grenade launchers just aren't a super great spot right now. I've seen swords be quite effective, but I've shut down a lot of swords with the Gravity Slingshot. Sword versus shotgun, you're gonna actually win as a shotgun if you know that guy's there. So that's the only problem with swords. They can be quite effective, but In any event, it is time to move on to class and abilities. Well, to be honest, do not switch your class from what you're most comfortable with. If you are playing Night Stalker Hunter and you love Night Stalker Hunter, stay Night Stalker Hunter. The same goes for Defender Titan, the same goes for even Dawnblade. If you have a class that you're comfortable with and you use constantly and you keep switching back to it, use that class. If you're a little bit more open, use whatever class has pulse grenades. I'm a simple man, and I know for a fact pulse grenades are absurd, so I'm rocking Titan, I'm rocking Stormcaller a lot, because let's be honest here, guys, you throw a pulse grenade on a flag, no one's capturing that flag for a good 10 seconds, especially if you're using a Titan and you have the subclass ability that makes them last longer. My gosh, and you get 2 of them. You can just completely shut down a flag. You see your flag being captured, you chuck a pulse grenade, no one is capturing. You're probably going to get kills, but at the worst case scenario, no one's capturing that flag. It's going to give your team time to get up to that area and find an incredibly weak team that's just completely shell-shocked from being pulse grenaded 40,000 times by you that match, and you're just going to be able to wipe them out. So pulse grenades are extremely good right now, especially due to the fact that you're capturing flags, you're capturing zones, and they're so good at zone denial. It's really hard to recommend to you guys anything else, to be quite honest. And so guys, that's what I'm rocking for the majority of matches. Admittedly, I do change loadouts every once in a while as it's an extremely long-ranged map. I will put on the Mida and the Uriel's Gift, for example, or the Mida and potentially the Last Hope if I'm going against a really sweaty team. And so you do want to have that option. Don't watch this video and completely stick to this loadout no matter what, no matter which map, no matter which team. But if you kind of don't know what to use and you find yourself getting beat a lot, hopefully this loadout will help you get a little bit of an edge in the Iron Banner, because it's certainly something like, if I'm loading into a match, I'm using this and I'm probably not changing. And so guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. Now, if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. And if you guys want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKakis. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.